So we're looking at April 12th for our TK through 5 elementaries. And then after that, we'll be opening our middle and high schools soon after. So looking forward to that. We're going to continue to provide virtual setting for the families that aren't comfortable to come back yet. But I got to tell you, we all miss seeing those smiling faces and the joy and the laughter on our campuses. So looking forward to it. So we're so honored to be celebrating 2 rock star teachers today. I'll start with Dana Middle School. And so I will introduce our principal, Dr. Hacking from Dana, and let him introduce our teacher, Dr. Hacking.
Thank you very much, Dr. Van Osdal, who I want you all to know spent his birthday last night at both the Foothills and the Dana PTA meeting, about 2 hours at each one. So that's the way our superintendent rolls, getting the communication out to the parents. And I'm so glad to see you here today, Dr. Van Osdal. I want to recognize our teacher of the year. Her name is Margaret Hoffman. She teaches, would you believe it, 4 or 5 different subjects throughout the day. She is a special education teacher, and she works collaboratively with many teachers. In fact, they were more thrilled than anybody to see her win this award, because literally she's juggling 20 different balls at all times. And most importantly, what she puts first is her students, and she makes sure that every single one of them can succeed. And I am so happy to be here to honor her today. Margaret Hoffman, Dana Teacher of the Year. Thank you, Rotary. Do you want to say a couple words, Margaret?
Sorry, I forgot I was muted. So this is where I say something. Thank you, Dr. Hacking. Yeah, thank you. It's a huge honor to receive this award, honestly. I wanted my mom to be here, Vicky. Hi, Mom. She's up north at my brother's house. Honestly, mostly because she was a special ed teacher as well for almost 30 years, and I wouldn't have pursued that without her. So, and I can't imagine not teaching special ed now. So, thanks, Mom. But you're muted, that's okay. But yeah, I think honestly, it's become a passion that I can't imagine not doing, and so I love it. I miss my students. I actually can't wait to see them in person. So thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Margaret. Thank you for everything you do for our students, especially during this time of virtual and just continuing to connect. And, I'll share a quick piece of data. When we surveyed parents and said, asking them what kind of model they want as we transition back, because we can't do full day because of the number of kids on campus. The number one thing that parents said was, please just keep my kid with their teacher they have right now. But think about that. These are teachers and students that never met in person. They started the year virtually and yet have such a strong connection, and that's because of our teachers like Margaret. So thank you so much. Now we'll transition over to Foothills. So let me introduce Dr. Ben Acker, our principal from Foothills Middle School.
Good afternoon, everybody. Thank you very much, Dr. Van Osdal, and thank you to Rotary for this annual honor of an outstanding teacher from Foothills and really across the district. We have a couple of speaking rules in Arcadia. One of those is, number 1, never follow a kid in speaking. That's important. Number 2, we really try, I don't know if they know this, we really try not to follow Dr. Van Osdal or Daniel Hacking either, because it's always a tall order. And just before I jump into it, as an aside, I do want to mention my congratulations also to Margaret, who spent several formidable years of her education career at Foothills Middle School. That said, all of that as prologue to the person that we would love to honor today, and that is Mrs. Amy Croteville. Mrs. Croteville started her career in Arcadia, if I'm not mistaken, at Baldwin Stalker, but several years ago, we were very lucky to swipe her away from elementary and bring her up to the middle school. Since that time, she has taught 7th grade humanities, which is the English and the social studies history piece. And she's, as you're going to hear here, she's not very busy. In addition to her teaching duties. She is an active member of our site leadership team, which is a group of teachers who take on the tough questions, and they help make the principal and assistant principal look like we know what we're doing, which is always helpful. She volunteered along with a colleague several years ago when we brought in a new program called Leader in Me, which is based on the works of Covey. You might remember the 7 Habits of Highly Effective People as a book that went around. There's a student program dedicated to that. Amy and her colleague, they approached me and the assistant principal at the time and said, we have an interest in putting together a group of 7th grade students to develop a lighthouse team. And at Foothills, as we have at many schools, we have a web program, which is primarily our 8th graders who provide orientation and guidance program for their 6th grade buddies. But the quintessential middle kids of middle school didn't have that kind of leadership opportunity. Amy was integral in creating a program for them so that they too could develop their leadership. And it has done amazing things for Foothills. So again, we really owe that as a tip of the cap to Amy. In addition to that, in terms of publications and talking to people and sharing our message, Amy has served along with a different colleague, creating our school yearbook for several years. And that's always a high quality book that goes out and represents us well. And when she's, not doing any of those other things, she has drawn upon her college volleyball career to serve as a volleyball coach. So we're so blessed and we're so fortunate to have Amy at our school. Appreciate everything that you do for us, and certainly very, very deserving of this recognition today. So thank you again, Dr. Van Osdol, and thank you to Rotary for this beautiful honor of an awesome person. Thank you.
Thank you, Dr. Acker, and thank you so much for this honor. I'm truly grateful. I have my parents here actually with me. They sometimes have technology issues when they're Zooming with their friends for the last couple months. So I was like, well, just come over and you can watch from behind. So they're here. Just like Margaret shared, it was kind of funny when she shared that her mom taught for like 30 years. So did mine. And that's pretty much what inspired me to become an educator and do what I do. Working in Arcadia, I love my job. I can't imagine doing anything else, but being in Arcadia and just having the support of so many different people throughout the city. I mean, it's absolutely amazing and it makes my job that much better. So I really, truly do thank you for this honor. And yeah, it's exciting.
Thank you so much, Amy. We just can't say enough about what you've done for all your students and your colleagues and that support you've provided. So you're an inspiration. Thank you. We really appreciate you. And with that, we appreciate, Terry, always the time that you give us and the honor and the celebrations. That means so much to our teachers, especially this year. So thank you so much. Thank you, TG, as well.
Thank you, Dave. I just want to let both Amy and Margaret know how much we at the Rotary appreciate the hard work that they do. And I will be dropping off a very large check made out to each of them and a wonderful plaque from the Rotary Club recognizing their achievements. And
not to me, TG. That check doesn't.
No, that one's coming later. I'll bring that by. That you're not supposed to buddy about that.
Yours comes in $1,400.
Yeah, exactly, Jim. But anyway, I just wanted to thank them. And congratulations.
Yeah, one more round of applause for our teachers. And it always is a highlight of our meetings to be able to honor the teachers, just to hear the time, the energy, the innovation that these teachers put into teaching these students. It's just admirable, and we just love to hear all that's going on in the schools, and particularly what these teachers are doing. So you guys are amazing. So thank you for all you do. And thank you to your family members for joining us too. Okay.